Hey there, yoga teacher. In this video, I'll be sharing a full-on 75-minute practice that's a behind-the-scenes look into one of the classes I recently taught for my 200-hour yoga teacher trainees. Oh, by the way, hey, my name is Crystal Gray. I specialize in supporting newer yoga teachers by filling in the gaps from their yoga teacher training so that they can finally gain the confidence and the skills that they need to take the next step in their yoga teaching journey. A very common struggle with newer yoga teachers is that they aren't really sure how to get people into poses efficiently and safely. This is called cueing. Saying as few words and directives to get your students into the pose with correct alignment as possible. But yeah, this can be super challenging, especially if it's not something that your yoga teacher training covered or just not one that you spent a lot of time on. But don't stress, that's exactly why I created this entire series on cueing for yoga teachers. And this video is a bonus for you. Again, it's a behind-the-scenes look at a class I recently taught to my trainees, where we were focusing on Sun Salutation A. This is a pretty challenging thing to start teaching because usually it's the first time you're putting together a lot of poses, a lot of breaths, and therefore a lot of cues. So if you're ready to not only get in a full practice, but also feed two birds with one scone and simultaneously learn how to properly teach and cue poses like an expert, then you'll want to do this practice with me. You'll need 2 blocks for this class, and a bolster would be lovely for the guided relaxation at the end, but it's not absolutely necessary. I just want you to be comfortable. And if you would, please do me a solid and give this video some love. By giving it a thumbs up and leaving a comment, you're not only telling YouTube that it's useful for people in general, but you're telling me that it's useful for you. And there's nothing that I want to know more than what I'm offering you is giving you confidence as a yoga teacher. Keep in mind that this is a behind-the-scenes video, so it's not a glamorous backdrop, but the solid foundations of lighting and sound are there, plus really good subject matter. So, are you ready? All right, meet me on your mat. In today's practice, you'll want to have 2 blocks. If you would like to use a bolster in your Shavasana, at the very end, we'll do a nice guided relaxation at the end. So you can always have a bolster to put under your knees. All right. In today's practice, we'll be focusing a lot on sun salutations. This is what we're really focusing on today. And there's a lot that goes into sun salutations. There's a lot of poses that make it up. And so we'll be breaking those down and really spending some time. And that's also why we'll want the blocks. So to keep this class on time, we will start, because I want to do the nice relaxation at the end, we're actually going to start in child's pose today. Now, before we go there, let me preface this by saying like what level of a class this would be. I wouldn't normally be teaching this probably to a lot of beginners because there's just so much that goes into the sun salutations. So this is probably going to be for people that have been practicing for a little while, and also people that can get up and get down to the ground easily and quickly. So you always want to make your accessibility notes in your class so people are like, okay, yes, that's for me. No, that's not for me. Because you want your students to feel empowered when they're there. You know, they don't want to be like, oh, I read the description and this is just completely not for me, and they don't feel good. All right. So that being said, make your way onto your hands and knees. Bring your knees as wide as your mat, your big toes can touch, and come back into your child's pose. So if you know that you like to use props for your child's pose, whether that's under your chest or wherever, feel free to do that. Walk your forearms out, hands down, forehead can come down to the mat. Now, I will give different cues in different levels of classes, right? If I have the accessibility notes that people need to be able to get up and get down from the ground easily and do this and that, there's going to be some cues that I don't necessarily have to give, right? Just meeting the students where they're at. Just taking a few deep breaths here, in through the nose, out through the mouth, letting go of expectations of this class, letting go of expectations of your body. It's letting everything go. Letting yourself get grounded in this moment. For this practice, we'll be using the affirmation, I am open. And that's really to anchor in the entire affirmation, which is, I am open to possibilities. I am open to possibilities. Maybe new opportunities that you hadn't thought of before or that you weren't ready for in the past. Stepping into new ways of being. And stepping into a more balanced version of yourself. So while we will be stimulating the solar plexus chakra, that's the Manipura chakra, the really seat of your personal power, so that you can step into that empowered self. We will be doing heating and a little bit more movement and physical activity, but we want to be balanced, that balanced best version of ourselves. So at the end, we'll take time to chill out and kind of cool down so we're not burning the candle at both ends. Take one more deep breath. In your mind, just think, I am open to possibilities. However that works with your breath. I am open to possibilities. Good. And then slowly make your way up to your hands and knees. Keep your knees wide and start to do some little or big hip circles. Just starting to get into your hip joints. You can think about moving your tailbone around, kind of sticking your tailbone out, tucking it down, or maybe you make big circles. What does your body need in this moment? Go the other way. And come back to center. From here, keep your knees like this, and we'll move into thread the needle. So inhale, bring your right arm up, and then exhale, thread it under, having your left elbow point up towards the sky. Bring your right side of the head to the ground. Push into your right hand, opening up the chest. Good. Push the back of the right hand and arm into the mat or into the ground, and feel the stretch in the right shoulder blade, maybe in the spine. Of course, if you know any other variations or modifications that would feel good in your body, feel free to do that. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, thread it under. Push into your right hand, opening up the chest. Push the back of the left arm and hand into the ground. Left side of the head is on the mat. Still taking some cleansing breaths. Taking those cleansing breaths anytime throughout the class when it would feel good. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Letting go of anything you're working up to the surface today. And then inhale, come back to center. Exhale through the mouth. Now bring your knees under the hips here. Spread your fingers apart and really push your knuckles down into the mat. Pointer fingers point forward. Walk your knees back a couple of inches. And since this level of student would already know what down dog is, I'm not going to do that, okay? But turn your hands out just a little bit more so your pointer fingers are pointing forward. Lift your knees up and then push into your knuckles. Send your hips up and back. Let your head hang loose. And breathe here. In through the nose and out through the nose. And we're rolling the shoulders away from each other. Good, squeezing in there. Keep that. And then roll the forearms in. So we're going two directions at once. Shoulders roll out. Keep that. And then roll your forearms in. Pointer fingers really, really heavy. Good. Roll those forearms in. Good. Push your chest towards your legs. Roll. Yes. Keep that. Keep your arms, straighten your arms. Keep that. And then keep these in. Good. Take a child's pose. Either knees together or knees apart. Yogi's choice. Recite your affirmation in your mind. I am open, or I am open to possibilities. Good. Make your way to a downward facing dog again. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Really being present in every movement. So often we're trying to go from one pose to the next and just get to this pose, that pose. And think about how that reflects in your life. You know, oh, I did this thing. Okay, what's the next thing I'm going to do? What's the next thing? Well, let's enjoy the journey. I mean, that's why we're here. So let's enjoy life. So really trying to be intentional with each movement. Rolling the shoulders away. Rolling the forearms in. Spread your fingers apart. Rolling those away. Rolling the forearms in. Good. All right, now come forward to plank. Take breaks, please, anytime, okay? Anytime. It's going to be a little bit more of a strenuous practice. So here, I bring your feet back. This is the top of a push-up. You're probably going to want your socks off. Navel towards the spine. That looks good. Jory, just bring your shoulders forward just a little bit so that they're right on top of your wrists. You might need to walk your feet in. Yep, or your hands back, either way. Yep. And then push into my hand. Tuck your tailbone. Yes, exactly. See how that engaged your low abs? Perfect. You can come out of it if you need to, especially as I'm just walking around, kind of dilly-dallying, having fun. Push here. Yes. Push here. Push, push. Yes. Push here. Okay, I think it's actually more here. Child's pose. Woo! Thought it was a little cool in here before, but not anymore. All right, plank again. There was a couple I didn't see. Navel towards your spine. So I'm touching some of you on your back. That looks good, but I'm touching some people and just saying push into my hand, but that's fine. Good, push here. Navel towards your spine. Okay, fun part. Inhale, push forward so the shoulders come past the wrists. Are you going to fall? Are you going to fall? Push so far. Are you going to fall? Knees down. Lower down to your belly. Chest lands first. Lift up that belly. Chest lands first. Yeah, uncurl your toes. Arms by your sides, rest on your right cheek. I make you like me again for a second. Instead of thinking, why did I sign up for this? Good. Bring your hands on either side of your chest. Come onto your chin. We're going to do 3 rounds of cobra with your breath. Okay, so your toes are uncurled, toes pointing straight back. We're going to link the movement to the breath, so breathing into 4 and out to 4. So let's inhale up. Exhale down. Keep going just like that, moving into your cobra. Shoulders stay away from the ears. Exhaling down to the belly. Couple more. This is going to start to fire up your triceps. Keep your chin tucked. Let's keep the back bend out of the neck. Good. Pull your hands back a little bit more. Okay. Now, just stop for a second and take a look. Are your wrists under your elbows? Probably not. Now do 2 more like that. It's a lot harder. Oh, now I got to use my back muscles. Okay, keep your elbows bent in cobra. Keep the back bend out of the neck. Yep, lower down. See, it's fun, like all these little micro things, super fun. Come back down. Okay, now, this one, you're gonna love it. Grab your blocks. Place them under your shoulders, either on the medium height or, if possible, on the high height. So you should be able to go like this. If you can put them on the high height, do that. Now, your hands are in by your sides. Your wrists are pretty much under your elbows. Spread your fingers apart, curl your toes under, elbows in at your sides. Yeah. See if you can engage. So you might not lift your belly all the way up, but I want you to tuck your tailbone, navel towards your spine, tuck your chin, hold, and guess what? You have to breathe too. Yes. Breathe. Kaylee, can you bring yours on the high height? If you can, high height. Yes, yes, yes. There you go, Shea. Good. Come down. The struggle's real, and that's how I know that you're really doing it right, because it should look ridiculous, and you should feel ridiculous. So just take a couple breaths. Does anybody know what pose this is? Did you know it's a pose? It's called chaturanga. You ever heard of it? Yeah. Okay. Most people don't do chaturanga right. Most teachers don't teach chaturanga. Elbows in. Curl your toes under. It's so hard. Pew. Navel towards your spine. Tuck your tailbone. Your knees can be down. That's fine. If you want to be superwoman, you can try to lift your knees fine, but you don't have to. You feeling it in your abs? Feeling it in your triceps maybe? All right, lower down, move it off to the side, chill out for a second, move your blocks, just chill. Rest on your left cheek. See, we should be able to laugh about it. Jeez, take it so seriously. That's when I like to say, sometimes the best thing about a pose is coming out of it. Okay, so now just come into Sphinx. This one's not too bad. That's just on your forearms, on your elbows. Forearms are parallel to the long side of the mat. Try to push into the elbows, draw the chest forward, shoulders back, tuck your chin slightly. This is a really great place to have your students go so you can demo, which I'm going to do right now. So a lot of times in class, a teacher will say, move through a chaturanga. So you think, oh, that must be some sort of movement, but it's not. Chaturanga is a pose. Okay, so here we're in plank, so we don't want to be down like this. Ouch, that compresses the low back. Don't want to be like this. So you're in a straight line from the tip of the tailbone to the crown of the head. That's parallel to the ground, right? This is your plank, pushing. From here, we push forward with the toes, knees down, lower down. Try somehow to get your chest to land before the belly. Lower down, uncurl the toes. So if you don't push forward far enough, if you don't push, your hands end up under the shoulders, or yeah, here, okay? That's why you want to push forward. Hands end up under your elbows. And then inhale, cobra. We're using mostly the back. Exhale, lower, curl the toes under. Then the really fun part, I call this the inchworm. I already wore myself out. It's going to be really hard now because we're already tired, okay? And then we're going to go to downward facing dog. So what I was doing was trying to lift my belly first. Maybe we'll just do a couple, something like this. It's going to be really ridiculous. Crap. And then we're going to push up, and then we're going to push back. I need to get back in my yoga shape. Oh, I've lost some strength. All right. Hands beside your ribs. We're going to go into cobra, elbows in. Okay, so inhale, cobra. This is Bhujangasana. Spread your fingers apart. Shoulders away from the ears, elbows bent. You don't have to go up high. Exhale, come down. Curl your toes under. Fun part, see if you can inchworm it. So tuck your tailbone, lift your belly off of the mat. And again, it might not lift. You're making it so hard. Keep your knees on the ground. Knees down, this up. It's going to be ridiculous. Chest down. Yes, there you go. See, if you feel really stupid, you're doing it right. Yes. Okay, and then try to push. Do little push-ups. Chest up, chest down, chest up, chest down, chest up, down, and then push up. And then downward facing dog. Push up. Come on. Yeah. Yes, you got it. That was awesome. Downward facing dog. And you made it harder because you lifted your knees, even though I told you not to. That's okay. I'll give you a pass. Woo, doggy. Take some cleansing breaths. I know you got stuff to let go of. Keep wrapping those. You're dumping here. So yes, you won't push your chest towards your legs, okay? Some people will, some people won't. You also, here, pull this in, yes. Let your head hang loose. Okay, okay, okay. Somehow walk your feet forward towards your hands, bringing your feet into your mountain pose feet. So they might not be touching, they might be a couple of inches apart. Hands to your shins. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Let your head hang loose. Push into the feet, look out in front of you. Inhale all the way up, circle the arms out to the sides, overhead, palms touch. Exhale, arms float down to the sides. Okay. Might be learning some new stuff today, trying some new things, learning them in different ways. So we're going to be open to possibilities, okay? We're going to be open to new things. Have a beginner's mindset. So bring one hand to your heart, one hand to your solar plexus here. Close your eyes or find a gazing point on the floor and repeat your affirmation in your mind. I am open to possibilities. It could be I'm open to new ways of thinking. I am open to new ways of being. And open your eyes and bring your arms down by your sides. So we're going to move through now 3 rounds of Surya Namaskara A. That's Sun Salutation A. So we're going to bring together what we just did, put them into this whole sequence. Okay, so arms are by the sides. Exhale, think about pushing down into the feet. Inhale, reach your arms up. Palms touch. Exhale, arms out to the sides. Bend your knees. That's fine. Let your arms and head hang. Inhale, come halfway up to a flat back monkey pose. Exhale, step back to a plank, top of a push-up, navel towards the spine. Inhale, push forward, shoulders past the wrists, knees down. Exhale, lower, chest lands before the belly. Keep your feet down. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, back bend, shoulders away from the ears, cobra. Exhale, lower down. Every movement takes 4 counts. Curl the toes under, lift the belly. Inhale, push up for 4, 3, 2, 1. Down dog. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold here and breathe. It should feel like the slowest yoga class you've ever done. That, I'm not going to say it's right, but this is what I like to do because that's vinyasa. That's linking movement to the breath. And we want to be breathing in for 4 and out for 4. So we don't want to rush the movements. Let's enjoy the journey. Let's enjoy the practice. Spread your fingers apart. Push your knuckles down, down, down. Pointer fingers point forward. Heels reaching towards the ground, but they don't have to touch. Kaylee, roll those shoulders away. Close your armpits. Yeah. So this is a great pose. You can look and see, okay, I can see where people hold on to their tension. It's going to be either in the shoulders, upper back, mid back, low back. Jory, tuck your tailbone, navel toward, yep. Good. Oh, I see shaking. That's good. That's when we release trauma from the body. So just remember that when it starts to suck, what you're doing. Walk your feet towards your hands, hands to your shins. Inhale, monkey pose. Exhale, fold over the legs. Inhale, look out in front of you, come all the way up, palms touch overhead. Exhale, arms by your sides. Breathe. Okay, so stand there while I demonstrate the other part of it, which is monkey pose. Okay, so this is monkey, not this. So we want to think, here's our neutral, right? Tadasana, this is our neutral. So what would this pose look like bent in half? Does it look like this? I mean, if that's how we want to be walking around, but we really want to try to bring ourselves back into neutral, right? So let's do our monkey pose. I'm going to take a look at everybody's, and I'll show you how I would adjust it. So just go ahead and come into your monkey pose. For most of us, our hands will be on the shins, okay? So hands to your shins. Just reach your heart forward. Make sure you're not locking your knees. Yep. Sometimes people will try to find like a bend here in the neck. So tuck your chin. More, Kaylee. More. Okay. So here's where you're rounding. Is this where you feel tight? Yeah. Yep. So that's how you can, this is a great pose also to see that in people. So you want to melt here. Yep, exactly. That's good. So how I would do that too is just kind of push here as I draw the shoulders back. Reach your chest forward like you're trying to find a back bend. Try to find your cobra here. Ooh, yeah. See that? That's perfect. Good, 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 good. Good. I'm seeing just a little rounding here. So I'm gonna go like that. Find your cobra. Yes. I love when people wear like a ponytail or bun. It's perfect. That's great. Okay, exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, rise all the way up. Palms touch overhead. Exhale, arms by the sides. Take a cleansing breath. I am open to possibilities. 2 more Sun A. Let's do it. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Remember, every movement takes 4 counts. Exhale, plank. Inhale, push forward, navel towards the spine. Knees down. Exhale, lower down. Chest lands before your belly. Elbows in. Good, Colleen. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, cobra. Back bend. Keep your elbows bent, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, lower down. Curl your toes under. Lift the belly first. Come on. Inhale, push up to your plank. Come on. Keep those knees down. You're making it so hard. Push up. And then down dog. Yes, 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 yes. Down dog. Engage those low abs, Colleen. Good. And maybe shorten your stance. Step your feet in like an inch. Yeah. Jory, is your mat slipping? Is your mat slippery? No. Okay, so bring your hands onto your mat. Okay. Your pinkies might be touching the sides. Yep, pointer fingers point forward. Spread your fingers apart more. Pointer fingers point straight forward. That. Yours are in just a little. Point your fingers forward. Yeah. Okay, walk your feet forward towards your hands. Hands to your shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Look out in front of you. Inhale, come up with a flat back. Palms touch overhead, really good. Exhale, arms by the sides. Okay, awesome. One more fun little piece to this puzzle. A lot of times people will go like this, like they're gonna dive into the ocean, right? But and I also don't use the word swan dive either, because swan dive kind of like makes you think like this. Or like, I don't know, just makes you think of like being really loosey-goosey, but that's not really how I do it. So whenever the arms are up, watch my traps. Watch what happens here, okay? I'm gonna show you this way. Okay, now compare that to this. How did that look different here? Here's the first way again. Here's the second way. Which way seems more, like has more ease? Okay, so this way really turns on the traps. That's not our neutral, right? So we don't want to be like, we don't want to do that. Tons of people always do that because nobody really ever tells you. Okay, so keep the palms open until you get halfway, then flip. On the way up, it's just kind of gradual. All right, so we're going to do one more Sun A. All right, so we're at the front of the mat. You're in your mountain, whatever that is. Arms are by the sides. Exhale, think about pushing down into the feet. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Palms can touch. Exhale, fold. You can bend your knees as needed to point the tailbone up. Arms and head hang. Inhale, halfway lift, monkey pose. Chest forward, shoulders back. Exhale, plank. Navel to spine. Inhale, push forward for 4 counts. Exhale, lower. With or without the knees, but chest still lands first. Uncurl the toes. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, lower down, 4 counts. Curl the toes under. Try to lift the belly first. Inhale, push up for 4 counts to your plank. That's so hard. Yes. Exhale, down dog. Yes. So good. You might feel like you're not doing a good job, but really when you're struggling like that, that means you're actually doing it right. That's good. We don't just, so many times people just bypass things to make it easier, but we want to do it right. Good. Let your head hang loose. Jory, walk your hands towards the front of your mat about an inch. Bend your knees and then push your chest towards your thighs. Yes. And then keep those rolling away. Perfect. Push your chest towards your thighs right here. Push. Chest here. Push your chest here. Yes. Not your head, just your chest. Yes, yes. Okay, from your down dog, walk your feet forward towards your hands. Inhale, monkey. Exhale, fold. Inhale all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, arms by the sides. Breathe. Make sure that your weight's not forward. Bring your hips back slightly. One hand onto your heart, one hand onto your solar plexus. Close your eyes or find a gazing point. Breathe, affirmation. Let your lips form a slight smile. Just check in. How is the self-talk during that? Were you attached to any sort of outcome? How'd your ego do? Good. Open your eyes. Now grab your blocks and let's place those up at the front of the mat. I'm going to give you a couple of options. You can either, if you're just kind of like, wow, I'm beat, I'm tired, come down to your hands and knees. That's where we're going. Otherwise, we're going to flow there. Okay, we're in our mountain. Exhale, push down into the feet. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plank. Bring your knees down. Place your hands onto your blocks and bring your right foot in front for a low lunge. Curl your back toes under. Okay, so from here, think about drawing the chest forward, shoulders back. Think about kind of finding a back bend almost. Squeeze the shoulders towards each other on the back. Front knees directly on top of the ankle, not past. Good. Okay, now we're going to keep the left hand down either on the block or on the floor. Walk your right foot over to the right. Right hand stays on the right knee. Inhale, draw your chest forward towards the front of the room. And then exhale, twist to the right, opening your chest up towards the windows. Now try not to dump into your bottom left shoulder. Keep a lot of space in between the shoulder and the ear. Right arm can go up towards the sky. So you keep your left hand on the block, you know, as you need to keep the ground coming up towards you. But if you can bring the hand off of the block, you can do that as well. Keep your right knee bent towards 90 degrees. Keep the right knee directly on top of the ankle. So Colleen, walk your right foot over to the right a little bit more. Turn your toes out more. I think that's going to feel better on your knee. Perfect. When you're ready, make your way to hands and knees or down dog. Yogi's choice. Somehow, left foot comes in front. So this is, you know, a really great reason why to practice at home. So you can figure out how to transition and move your body in ways that feels good for you. Because it might not be like everybody else, and that's totally fine. So just finding, that'll just come with time for everybody. So just holding here, chest forward, shoulders back. Noticing where you feel the stretch here. Left knee directly on top of the ankle, not past. Good. Moving into a twist. So right hand stays down on the block or the ground. Walk the left foot over, left hand onto your knee. Inhale, draw your chest forward towards the front of the room. Exhale, twist, pushing into the left leg. Maybe the left arm floats up. Just make sure that you have, again, a lot of space in between the bottom shoulder and the ear. Yeah, either keep it pushing on the knee or bring it up. I turn your fingers out though, because it kind of, your left hand's, yeah. Good. Make sure you're breathing. How can you be open to possibilities in this pose? Good. Make your way to your down dog or hands and knees. Yogi's choice. Good. Make your way forward to a monkey pose. So if you're on your hands and knees, come to your down dog for a moment. Hands to your shins. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold over the legs. Look out in front of you. Inhale, come up with a flat back. Palms touch overhead. Exhale, arms down by the sides. Breathing here. Again, bring your hips back slightly, lengthening the tailbone down. Just kind of resetting. Okay. Now, I didn't want to be super mean in this class and make us continue to flow the whole time, right? So if this was a traditional flow class, I'd be like, all right, we're going to be in down dog, bring the right foot through, let's come into warrior two. We're not going to do that. Okay, so instead, we're going to take a wide stance. Let's actually face this way. Okay, so bring your arms out to your sides, point your fingers down, separate your feet so that the outside edges of the feet are below your fingertips. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn your right foot towards the front of the room, right heel's in line with the arch of the back foot. Bend your right knee. Okay, level out the pelvis. So we don't want to have like tons of attitude here. Level it out. Keep your knee pointing in the same direction as the toes. It's going to naturally want to turn in. So it comes from here, kind of rolling that out. Arms up, relax your shoulders, gazing out through your right middle finger. Breathe here, warrior two. Squeeze your fingers together or spread your fingers apart. Just make them part of the pose. Make it intentional. Breathe. This will affect your down dog. See, do you see how that's like popping up like that? Mm-hmm. We'll come back to that. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just going to make your poses look a little bit different. So it's good to know those things. Okay, inhale, straighten your right leg. Don't lock it though. Squeeze the quad here. Exhale, reach towards the front of the room to lengthen your side body. And then bring your right hand to the right shin, left arm up. So you can look down or sideways or up. Shoulders are both directly like on top of each other. So I'm just going to demo here so you can see how I would adjust. I'd hold there, go like this, and then I make sure that you're stable before I walk away. I'm not just going to like back away so you fall. Good. Good. Melt here a little bit. This is a hard one to explain. So usually I'll come in front of people. So instead of it being rounded here, you're going to shift your tailbone. My tailbone's kind of pointing this way. Point your tailbone that way, and then see how that melts that down. Mm-hmm. Yep, good. Good. Look down for some balance. Bend your right knee a little bit. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, let the arms float down. Switch it out. Left heel in line with the arch of the back foot, back toes turned in slightly. Bend the knee, level out the pelvis, keep the knee pointing in the same direction as the toes. Arms up, relax the shoulders, gazing out through the left middle finger. Virabhadrasana 2. Beautiful. Good. Turn your back toes in just a little bit, and then bring this foot here, so it's heel to arch. Yes. Keep breathing. Inhale, straighten the left leg, but don't lock it. Squeeze the quad. Exhale, reach towards the back of the room. Bring your left hand to the shin, right arm up. So remember, for every level, I'm not going to say bring the hand to the shin. Last week, I said bring the hand above or below the knee. So it's going to depend on the class, okay? Again, you can look down or sideways or up. Really good. Look down, bend your left knee just a little bit. Inhale, come up. Exhale, let the hands float down. Turn the left foot in. We're going to do a wide leg forward fold. So the outside edges of the feet are parallel to each other. You might feel a little bit pigeon-toed. Hands to your hips. Inhale, big shoulder roll, lift your heart. Exhale, fold, hands to your shins. Inhale, monkey pose here. Exhale, fold. Let the head hang loose. Hands can come down towards the ground. I would expect people in this level of class would be able to touch the ground. So you all can, which was a good guess on my part. Just make sure you're not locking your knees. And then bring your weight forward just a little bit more towards the toes and see how that changes the stretch. Just a little bit. Yeah, it's different, right? And this one, push into the outside edges of the feet just to lift the inner arches a little bit, the inner leg lines. Good. Hands can stay on the ground or the shins for your monkey pose. Inhale, monkey. Reach your chest forward, flat back. Keep your chin tucked though. Exhale, hands to the hips. Bend your knees tiny bit as you inhale, come up. And then exhale, just circle your hands together in prayer. Hold there, breathe, find a gazing point. Sometimes you can get kind of dizzy, so just take a moment to get grounded. And then heel toe your feet towards each other or jump your feet towards each other. Arms by your sides. Beautiful. Make your way up towards the front of the mat. And again, we've got our blocks on either side of our front feet, our feet. They're both there. It's like we don't have back feet and front feet. All right. See, you don't say everything perfect. You make a joke out of it. Everybody laughs. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. That's easy. Hands to your hips. Bend your knees. Step back with your left foot. So here we're stepping back like 4 feet, probably 4 feet or so. The feet are like they're on train tracks. Back left toes point towards the front left corner of the mat. Back heel is down. If the back heel keeps lifting, take a shorter stance. Okay, now from there, we're going to bend the front knee just for now. Hands to your hips. Big shoulder roll. Inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, we're going to start to bring the hands towards the blocks, but we're not going to round. We're going to tip the pelvis forward. That's how we lower. Okay, hands to blocks. It's going to take a certain level of student to come here because this is really hard for a lot of people. That's why we go into it with a bent knee. Okay, lift your tailbone, like stick your butt out, lift your tailbone, draw the chest forward, shoulders back. Keep your spine just like that and only straighten the front leg as far as you can go, keeping your spine just like that. If your tailbone starts to tuck under, you've gone too far. So stick your butt out, draw the chest forward, shoulders back, tuck your chin slightly. Push your right hip back in space to bring your pelvis into neutral. Tuck your chin. Tuck your chin. So we want the neck to be neutral. So if you're standing in mountain pose, you're not going to like have your head back like that. You might pull your head back and then tuck your chin. Okay, good. Tuck a little more. Good. I mean, you're not going to be like super like psycho about all this stuff with your students, probably. Right hip back. And draw your chest forward so it's equally lengthened, yes. Now, if it's available to you, you could start to lower your blocks and bring your hands down on the blocks or even on the ground. But you got to keep your spine exactly like that. The ego gets in the way. It's like, oh, we're going to go all the way down to the ground. Oh, but then my back's rounded and I can't breathe and whatever. Okay, good. Bend your right knee again. Slowly, slowly rise up. Step forward. Step back with the other foot. Back heel is down. Back right toes point towards the front right corner of the mat. Big shoulder roll. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, start to tilt. Front knees bent. Hands to block. So go over the alignment here. Lift your tailbone. Draw the chest forward, shoulders back. Tuck your chin so your neck is neutral. And then again, only straighten the front leg as far as you can go, keeping the spine long, keeping the tailbone lifted. Breathe. This is Parsvottanasana, pyramid. Draw your chest forward. Push into all 4 corners of your front foot. Yep. Bring your left hip back in space. Draw your chest forward. It's like the natural chiropractor. Draw your chest forward like a cobra, cobra, cobra. Yes. See, so sometimes, you're going to have to change your cues until the person understands what you're trying to say. because our brains aren't the same. Left hip back in space, draw your chest forward. Yes, natural chiropractor, cobra, draw it forward, chest forward. Oh yeah, now tuck your chin. Good, we're just gonna put something right there so you can't even move it anymore. All right, bend your front knee and then slowly come up, step forward. Any questions about that one?
Love how you did that on my heel, and then like all of a sudden I felt that nice stretch in my calf. I'm like, ooh, now my whole leg feels
Yeah. So what I did was I just came and put my foot like that kind of around her here and kind of push that down. Not everybody's gonna love that, but I figure in teacher training, like I'm gonna give you adjustments, but you probably wanna ask some people, but that's not you're not really in people's space, it's kind of your foot that's doing it, so I think it's a little bit more gentle. It's not so much up in their business. All right, we're gonna do that one more time because now we're gonna add on. It's actually the same exact stance as revolved triangle, okay? We're done with the flowing though, so you like me for that, right? Okay, step back with your left foot. Just come into your pyramid. So back heels down, hands on the blocks. Straighten your front leg just as far as you can, keeping your spine long. Good. And then keep your left hand down, bring your right hand to your hip. Right hand to your hip. Good. Push your right hip back in space. More. Draw your chest forward. Cobra, push this back. Yes. Okay, then open your chest towards the windows. Twist, chest towards the windows. Keep your back heel down. Yep, exactly. So you would shorten your stance if you can't keep the back heel down. Totally fine. Stay there or lift your right hand up towards the sky. Good. And that's how I would adjust there, just holding there. Keep your back heel down. Good. My teacher would say the pose starts in the back heel. Good. Just as much weight on the back foot as there is on the front. Okay, bring your right hand down. Hands to the hips. Bend your front knee. Slowly come up. Step forward. Okay, step back with your other foot. And start to bring your hands down to the blocks. Remember, the pose starts in the back heel, so keep it down. Tilting your pelvis forward, so lifting your tailbone. Push your left hip back in space. Left hip back, chest forward, yes. Now keep your right hand down, bring your left hand to your hip, twisting the chest open towards the cabinet wall. And maybe the top arm floats up. So for the gaze here, I forgot to say this on the other side, you can look down or sideways or up. It's gonna help with your balance to the most to look down. It's gonna challenge it more to look sideways, even more to look up. But don't do it because the ego's like, oh yeah, come on, go for it. Just go where you need to go. Back heel down, chest forward. Even try to find your cobra here somehow. How? How can we find our cobra? I think you can bring that down more. Good. Both hands to the blocks. Slowly come up. Take your time and step forward. See, so not all the time moving slow is easy, right? There is a bound version of that, which I'll just show you for fun. So my hands are touching. We'll work on that one next week. No, I'm just kidding. It's like most people, like, they don't need to go there, it's just kind of for fun. All right, very good. So now we're gonna do our standing balancing pose, and I feel like we're really prepared for that because those took a lot of balance too, even though they're not technically balancing poses. A lot of times teachers will use straps in this pose. I just don't usually use straps. I think straps can be kind of dangerous, especially when you're trying to do like balancing poses, which are already really hard. So we're just going to do it without, like I normally do. So let's have a strong base in the left foot. Okay, lift the toes, spread them apart, grip them down. And then make sure, we're going to put all the weight in the left foot, but don't lock the knee. So squeeze the quad. Okay, and then bring your right knee up. Now you can either hold behind the thigh or the shin, or maybe you just want to hold it here. And if your balance is like, whoa, 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 then fine. Just keep it down with the toes down. That can be where you're at. Know where you're at today. What's going to challenge you today? Challenge you and not hurt you, right? So if you can hold here, you could pull it in. Any of these places, be like, okay, I'm good here today. Another place you could be is to grab the outside edge of the foot with the right hand. Obviously, this is a more physically demanding class, if you haven't noticed. Keep your chest lifted. I want you to know where you would go in this pose, because if you're going to go to yoga classes around, you need to know, like, no, I can stop there. It's good. Crystal said so. Stay there or extend it out. You might fall. That's okay. No biggie. No biggie. Bring it to the side maybe. And you can do this all with your knee bent too. You don't have to be bringing it all out. Back to the front. Now, here's a real fun part. Grab the outside edge of the right foot with your left hand. Right hand behind. You're going to twist. Ooh, I've got the wall here. Cheating. And twist open. Twist, twist, twist your chest towards the windows. Find your gazing point. And release. So there's a few ways you can work with the solar plexus. One of the ways is to build heat. Check. Another way is twists. So we've done a decent amount of twists. We did thread the needle. We did that one is a twist. We did pyramid. We did the low lunge with a twist. So we've done a lot of twists. We're almost done with the hard stuff, okay? All right, let's have a strong base in the right foot. Lift the toes, spread them apart, grip them down. Again, lift your left leg. Totally fine to stay there. And if you were watching me at all, I don't look away from my gazing point once. That's how I don't fall. So find your gazing point, stick with it. Okay, so again, maybe you're gonna hold on to something, pull it in, maybe not, maybe not. You stay where you need to stay today. Don't let the ego get in the way. Bring your right hand to your right hip. Maybe you grab the outside edge of the foot with a hand, maybe. Still, standing up tall, lift your chest. Shoulders are back. Maybe you extend the leg out. There's just, if you need more sensation, you go here. This is why it's a great idea to teach the students who are 5 steps behind you. You don't have to be teaching pose that you don't feel comfortable doing. Who cares? Maybe they go out to the side. Forward. Grab the outside edge of the foot with the opposite hand if you're doing this whole crazy thing. Other hand goes behind. And you know what's even the really fun part? The gazing point switches to look at the back hand. That's the icing on the cake. That's the fun funfetti frosting on the strawberry cupcake that I had last night. And release. My daughter woke up. I go, "What are you having for breakfast? Cupcakes?" She's like, "Yeah." It's like, go eat them all before I get home, please. I told her all that sugary stuff I ate yesterday. She's like, "That's a regular day for me." And I was like, she's like, "Add 2 Rice Krispie treats to that." I'm like, I don't know where you're eating all this stuff because it's not here. Like, you need to chill out. Okay, so just kind of shake it out, shake it out. Whoo! All right, how you feeling? Good. All wrung out? Yeah. So twists are really good to wring everything out on all levels, so that's really good. Opening us up to new possibilities. All right, if you just kind of had it, come down to the mat and come to seated. We'll meet you there in a second. If not, we're going to flow to get there. Arms by the sides. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, monkey pose. Exhale, one final vinyasa on your own. It's like, wait, what's that? It's plank, it's lower down, it's a back bendy thing, it's a pushing back up, it's a down dog. Good. All right, find a comfortable seated position, whatever that might be for you. This is more of a variation of Siddhasana. This feels better for me. You don't have to sit like this. This is just how I like to sit. Feels better than this. I've got some hip flexor stuff that happens, so this just feels better for me personally. If I had blocks, I'd probably put the blocks under my knees as well, but I don't. So just make sure that you're sitting right on top of your sitting bones so that your lower back feels long. Relax your shoulders away from the ears. Let's open up the hands just to signify we're open to release any of that stuff that we just worked up to the surface. Eyes closed. Take a couple cleansing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Good. And I like that you're all breathing audibly, because a lot of times students are scared to do that because they just don't want to be heard. I don't know if that's a throat chakra issue or what, but you need to be able to be the one to kind of lead the way. Like, look, it's okay. You can hear my breath. It's all right. Then when you feel ready, if your heart rate slowed down, then you can start to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Only when you feel ready. Notice how everything's feeling. Notice how your body's feeling. Are you warm? Are you hot? Maybe you're starting to cool down a little bit now. Notice your heart rate. Just notice how your body's feeling. Do you feel any tingling anywhere? The other day when I did yoga, a more intense practice I've done in a long time, I felt kind of like a tingling in my body, like under my skin. So just notice. As you practice more and more, you'll be more aware of those subtle layers, the koshas, right? Going in further to those deeper layers. Let your lips form a slight smile as you're here. Noticing every part of your body that's making contact with the earth or the blocks or the bolster, whatever you're sitting on, the mat. Really feel that part of your body, those parts of your body grounding down, getting heavier, just making a more secure connection. Visualize those energetic roots growing down from your body. Again, just securing that connection from you to the earth. Drawing up the grounding energy, that stable energy from the earth. That portion of the practice was very active, and it's good to be able to be active like that when we need to be, but it's not good to be like that all the time, which so many of us are. Even if it's not physically, mentally, we're going. So we want to make sure in our yoga practice we give ourselves the time to balance that out, and we really give our students that time, because they won't take it for themselves, most of them. Come back to your affirmation, I am open to possibilities. How are you open to bringing more balance into your life so that you can really step into that more empowered version of yourself? It's not just the part of you, that version of yourself that gets a whole bunch of stuff done and does this and that, can do all this. It's that empowered, stable, authentic part of yourself that shows up grounded, like, ooh, I love being around her. She's so grounded. She makes me feel grounded. How can you step into that? You can know when it's time to go and get stuff done. But you also know when it's time to rest, it's time to rest. It's time to let go. Lower your head slightly, blink your eyes open, and slowly make your way onto your back. We're going to do a couple poses that you don't need any props for, but since I did say you can have your bolster for Shavasana, just have that handy in case you want to use that for Shavasana. But for right now, just have everything off to the side. Lay back. Bring your feet onto the ground, so bend your knees, feet to the ground. Bring your arms out to your sides in a T, palms facing up. Shift your booty over to the right and let your knees gently come down to the left. Now you do have your blocks handy, so if your knees are kind of far from the ground, put a block under them, okay? Because we want both shoulder blades on the mat. So shoulder blades on the mat first and foremost. Then if you want to grab a block to put that under the knee, do that. You can turn your head over to the right if that feels good. Eyes closed if that feels good. Starting to shift your breath now so that instead of breathing in for 4 and out for 4, breathe in as far as you can go comfortably. Just count how many counts that is. Maybe it's 4, 5, or 6. And let your exhales be about 3 counts longer if you can. It's a really good breath to let go. Or just in a gentle twist now, nothing crazy. And slowly shift to the other side. While you're here, I'm going to come around with some essential oil. If you don't want the essential oil, I'm going to put it on your wrist. If you don't want it, just place one hand on your body somehow. I don't know, on your belly or on your chest or something, or just flag me down. So I'm going to place it on your wrist. If you want to blend it in with your other wrist or put some on your neck or do whatever you want to do. This is Calm and Content. It's a really grounding oil. It's got a little bit of patchouli, I think ylang ylang, which is my favorite. Couple more breaths here, letting the exhales be 3 counts longer. Come back to center. And then you can either draw one knee in at a time or both knees in at a time, coming into, I'm going to steal this word from somebody else, from Karina, my avatar. She called it cannonball. And I was like, oh, I really like that. So just bringing your forehead up towards your knees, if that feels good. Another pose here that would do the same kind of thing, just bringing everything back to the center, would be a full body stretch. So either of those are fine. They're just nice neutralizing poses. And then coming into some sort of really feeling good pose, laying on your back. So maybe you want to put a bolster under your knees or the blocks under your knees if that's what you've got. Just get comfortable. If you feel like you might get kind of chilly, put your socks on. I know it's hard to believe you might be chilly, but you could. If you have a shirt or something handy, you could put the sleeve of it over your eyes. Let's take a moment to get really comfortable. Getting ready for this yoga nidra practice of sleep with trace awareness. Getting ready to do nothing. Nothing you need to do. Nothing you need to be. Nothing you need to feel. No one you need to please. There is only you. No expectation. No goal. No agenda. No way you can get this wrong. There's nothing you need to think about. Just getting comfortable now for this practice of non-doing. adjusting your body or props in any way you need so you can sink into the comfort. Check in with how you feel. Your setup should make you feel at ease but not sleepy. You can also check your head position. If your chin is tucked in, it can stimulate sleep. Try moving your head into a neutral alignment, chin neither tucked nor raised, and notice how it might change your energy and alertness. Try moving your head into a position where you feel relaxed yet still alert, not sleepy. Set yourself up so you can stay awake and aware, and at the same time, in peaceful ease. Check that your feet and ankles are relaxed. Calves, knees, and thighs relaxed. Hips relaxed. Lower back, middle back, upper back, relaxed. Whole back, softening. Hands and arms, relax. Shoulders and neck, relax. Jaw, tongue, and cheeks, relax. Eyes, forehead, and scalp, relax. Whole body is completely relaxed. Nothing to do. Body is at ease. Awareness continues on. Yoga Nidra has now begun. Bring awareness within the body, experiencing energetically rather than physically. Several points will be mentioned. They are energetic pathways. Allow attention to move freely from one point to the next. No need to concentrate, just moving awareness effortlessly. If at any time you feel the urge to let go of the guidance and drop into meditation, then drop in. If at any time you need to move, then move. Be effortless. Begin with awareness of the energetic point between the eyebrows. Effortless awareness of the point between the eyebrows. The hollow of the throat. Shifting freely, unattached. The right shoulder joint. Elbow joint. Wrist joint. The right thumb. The tip of the index finger, tip of the middle finger, tip of the ring finger, tip of the little finger, experiencing energetically the right wrist joint, elbow joint, shoulder joint, hollow of the throat, over to the left shoulder joint, elbow joint, wrist joint, the left thumb, tip of the index finger, tip of the middle finger, tip of the ring finger, tip of the little finger. Back up to the left wrist joint, elbow joint, shoulder joint, hollow of the throat, the heart center, the right side of the chest, the heart center, the left side of the chest, the heart center, the navel center, tip of the tailbone, the right hip joint, right knee joint, ankle joint, the right big toe, tip of the second toe, tip of the third toe, tip of the fourth toe, tip of the baby toe, back up to the right ankle joint, knee joint, hip joint, tip of the tailbone, sweeping awareness to the left hip joint, left knee joint, ankle joint, the left big toe, tip of the second toe, tip of the third toe, tip of the fourth toe, tip of the baby toe, back up to the left ankle joint, knee joint, hip joint, tip of the tailbone, the navel center, the heart center, hollow of the throat, the eyebrow center, the eyebrow center, the eyebrow center. Feel as if you are breathing in and out through the point between the eyebrows. In a straight line from the point between the eyebrows to the center of the brain. Breathing like this for several breaths now. Allow the breath to become subtle. Breathing in a straight line from the point between the eyebrows to the center of the brain. Breath becoming subtler and subtler until the breath is almost imperceptible. Almost all doing has halted. Only listening remains. Preparing to leave even the listening behind, to experience what lies beyond. When all doing ends, what remains is pure awareness, ever free, ever present. Present through doing and non-doing. Constant, eternal. Awareness is what remains when all doing ends. Pure awareness. This is your essence. This is who you are. You, the awareness, are present through all of your waking life, dreaming life, deep sleep, and once again when you are awake. You are the thread. You are the awareness. Aware through the pleasant and unpleasant, success and failure, yet ever free and unaffected by any. Free and unaffected. You are the pure awareness. There, beneath all the thinking and doing, you are at peace, You are peace. You are the peace you've been looking for all along. You, yourself. There is nothing to seek, nothing to gain. No distance between what you seek and what you already are. You are it. So now, allow the brain to rest. There is nothing left to do. Release the mind, like an instrument you're holding on to. Release the mind. Let it go. Drop into the stillness and silence that remains. Drop into the stillness and silence. Rest in the peace of your own self. Bring awareness back to your breath. Notice your body breathing. Feel your body breathing. Notice how you're feeling physically, mentally, emotionally. Begin deepening your breath, and bringing some gentle movement into your fingers and toes, your wrists and ankles by moving your hands and feet in circles. A couple in each direction. You might hear some snap, crackle, pops. Gently turn your head from side to side. If a full body stretch would feel good, gently and slowly move into that. Start to bend your knees, placing your feet onto the floor or the bolster, whatever was under your knees. Push that out of your way a little bit and roll onto your right hand side, using your right arm for a pillow. Taking a couple breaths here. With the strength of your arms, slowly push yourself to a seated pose. Feel free to sit on a bolster or blocks. Take your time. Hands on the knees. Let's have the palms down just for a little bit more grounding. Eyes closed. Come back to the breath. Let your lips form a slight smile. Bring one hand onto your heart center, one hand onto your solar plexus. Recite your affirmation in your mind. I am open to possibilities. Making a promise and commitment to yourself to being open to possibilities for the rest of this week. Seeing how those being open, seeing how that shows up in your life. What possibilities show up when you're looking. Circle your hands together in front of your heart now into prayer, Anjali Mudra. Let's close our practice with one Om. Take a deep breath in. Bow down to where it feels good for you. Bring your thumbs up to your third eye, sealing in your practice, thanking your body for everything it just did during this practice today, thanking yourself for doing it, for showing up for yourself. The energy within me acknowledges the energy within you. Thank you so much for letting me guide you through this practice today. I'll send you off in peace by saying Om Shanti. And then you can open your eyes. I told you that'd make everything worth it.